Hey y'all, hey, it's another episode of Bonafide Her podcast featuring the one and only Taya, Reimer. Beep, 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 beep.
Hey,
Girl, I had to make the introduction fly for
I
you.
know, I love it.
How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I'm excited that we can make this work.
Yes, of course, girl. I told you you are a legend. Like to me,
Oh,
you're a
thank
legend.
you.
Like,
Thank you.
so let's get it started. So, Miss Taya, can you tell us like how you got to your sports journey to where you are?
Oh gosh, my journey is long and kind of crazy and non-traditional. Um, I guess I really like. I mean, you want me to start all the way back, or where do you
Girl,
want me to start?
the floor is yours. So
Um, Gosh, well, I mean, I always played a lot of sports growing up, but definitely always loved basketball. My dad was a professional basketball player. He played in the NBA and he played overseas as well. So it was kind of like something that, I always wanted to do and always knew that I would do. Um, I, you know, I guess like around maybe sixth, seventh grade, like started to get super good and was like, okay, I want to play in college. I want to play professionally. Like, I want this to be like my thing, what I really do. And luckily made it there. I was a McDonald's All American in high school. I went to Notre Dame. I played in two national championship games at Notre Dame. I transferred to Michigan State. Finished out my career as a grad transfer there, and now I am, gosh, 7 years out, 7 years as a pro, playing overseas. And I have done a few, like right out of college, I did training camp with the Sparks. And this past summer, I did training camp with Chicago Sky. But yeah, I've been playing overseas, playing in Europe, and played a bunch of different places. Gosh, I played Italy, France, Poland, Greece, and Turkey. So, yeah, made a nice career for myself in Europe and, just love being able to play basketball as my job. So, it's really cool.
cause girl, when I tell you like the year you were in the McDonald's All American, like that whole class was packed. Like
I
every
know it was.
like you were in a class with like the you were in the 2013 class,
Yeah.
correct? Yeah,
Hmm.
so you had like Diamond D Shields, you had Jessica Washington, you had you know
Mercedes Russell, Hillary
yes,
Bliss, Stephanie Mavunga, Lindsay Allen, Nia Coffey.
yeah, and
Um,
it and
I
then on
think the girls.
And then on the men's side, you had Wiggins, Jabari Parker,
Hmm.
Cat, and Chris Walker. So it was like,
Yeah, we had a really stacked class. We had a really super stacked class. It was fun. It was cool. I mean, it's cool to be a part of something like that and, have like bragging rights. Of course, everybody thinks that their class is the best class, but I think we had a really strong one.
girl, yes, because I was like, ooh, that was like it was. So my question for you is,
Mhm.
you got to experience both the ACC and the Big Ten, which are huge
Mhm.
Power Five conferences. What was the transition like coming from the ACC schools such as Notre Dame to Michigan State? And would you say the competition is like similar or different?
Well, you know what? I would say in a way it was similar because it was both were super competitive. But I would say like maybe a little bit of the style is different. Like at the time, especially, I feel like ACC. I mean, good basketball is always good basketball, and basketball is a physical game. But I feel like maybe the ACC was like a little bit more like fast paced and quicker as a conference, and Big Ten is just like a super physical like kind of like beat you up conference. So that was a little bit different. But I mean, again, both are super strong conferences, and good basketball is always good basketball.
Yeah, because I remember like, so you had played against the one game I seen you play was you were playing at Notre Dame, y'all played at NC State, and y'all
Yeah.
beat
Uh-huh.
NC State. And I think
Uh-huh.
you were in the same team with Jewel Lloyd at the time.
Hmm.
That team was so strong.
I know. We had a good team. We had a good team. It was just UConn every year. They were just a little bit better, but we did. We had a really good team, and it was fun. It was really fun.
So what was that like, to be coached under Muffet McGraw, like as she's a
Yeah.
legend in her own right? What was that like to be coached under her?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like she's a legend. Like, it's like just the expectations and the level that you bring every day is it's just different. From day one, even when I was there for summer school, like all of our workouts were just, we had a level of excellence that was expected from us. And you don't take plays off, you don't take drills off. Like when we're lifting, you do everything to the highest level and you execute, and that's just what she expected from us. And I mean, it showed. Like, we were a great team, we were super successful, and like I said, we made it to the national championship game my freshman and sophomore year. And that's a testament to her, and her as a coach and her as a person, and just again, the level of excellence that she expected from us.
Oh yeah, because I think like by the close towards her end of the career when she was coaching, she I believe she won the national title. I believe
Mhm.
with Enrique when
Yeah.
Enrique just shot like
Yeah.
just game winning shots
I
like
know. I know. She's a great player.
so. But what's it for you? You also got to chance to try out and be part of the two WNBA teams.
Hmm.
Can you explain like your experience and also like, what would you say is the misconception of like say playing in the WNBA that a lot of people don't understand?
Well, I'll start with that. I think that the biggest thing with the WNBA that, obviously some people understand and some don't, is that it's really the hardest league to make, the hardest professional league to play in, because it's just not a lot of teams and it's not a lot of roster spots. So, it's I think there are a lot of girls that dream of playing in the WNBA, and that's always been a dream of mine. And it's just really hard because there are a lot of really talented girls. There's a lot of really talented basketball players out there. So I think that's a huge misconception, is just the fact that it's way harder to make the WNBA than any other league, and I'll stand on that. Like I really feel that way. Um, but yeah, I mean, my experiences were great. Like I said, I did training camp in LA and also then this past year in Chicago, and I had great experiences with both programs. Um, I mean, great people, great organization. As far as the coaching staff and the management, and then also the players, it was really great experiences. And like I said, like it's always been a dream for me to play in the WNBA, so just to have that experience, it's awesome. Like it's something that I always take into everything that I'm doing. Like I definitely took my experience, straight out of college being in LA, and kind of helped use that to like help me, just to motivate me, and to use that like, okay, so like at the time, like Candace Parker was there, and she was somebody that I always looked up to. So I was like, okay, so I was in training camp with her. I saw the way that she practiced. I saw the way that she worked. Like, let me use that to motivate me and to kind of, help me progress in my career. So yeah, I mean, it's just like experience that you know, I'll never take for granted, and you just can't get anywhere else.
Oh yeah, because you know, like you said, the WNBA is so hard to make it just because of the limited spots. And
Yes.
like you even have like some of the players that were in like say the top 5 or top picks that are not on teams anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
like I
Which
think
is
Charlie.
really unusual. I mean, think about that. Think about the NBA. Like you don't see that in the NBA the way that you see it in the WNBA. So it's super cutthroat.
Yeah, because I remember I haven't seen Charlie Collar playing on a team in like a long
Hmm.
time, and she was like the first round pick, first number one draft pick.
Yeah.
And then I can never say her name right. I know it starts with Kyrese or it's, she was on the Chicago Sky. She had a long last name, Kyrese or Kaiser.
Kaiser?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Kaiser, yeah.
Yeah, I can never say her name right. I'm like,
Yeah.
I apologize. Like, but so it's like she was also like the fourth pick in the first round is like, and then she
Hmm.
gets dropped from the Fever and then gets cut with the Chicago Sky, and you be like, what's going on? Like, what's so
Yeah.
like with the WNBA finally expanding? Do you hope to
Hmm.
see like say more people actually getting more opportunity to play?
I mean, absolutely. And I think that that's really the whole point. And I think that the W is listening. Like, people have probably honestly been saying this for a long time that they need to expand and they need to give more opportunity. And I think that they've been aware of that and been working on it. And luckily now, you know, we'll see the new team and the Golden State affiliated team. And then also, I know that there's a team in Portland that'll be coming soon as well, which is super exciting. I think those are great places. Those are places that, I think will be really excited to welcome a W team and, um, you know, have great fans that'll be willing to really embrace women's basketball, which is super exciting. And yeah, I mean, of course, it'll be really exciting to have more roster spots and just more teams to watch, more people to watch, more players to root for and to cheer for and support. So it's great.
Oh yeah, and first and foremost, you and Dana, y'all like best friends goals. I love the tunnel fashions y'all be
I'm
hitting. Like,
cracking up. I know, yes. Shout out to Dana. That's my bestie. We played, it was 2 seasons ago now. We played together in Turkey. And I've really always known Dana. So she's from Gary and I'm from Indianapolis. We're both from Indiana, but not really close. And I think we're maybe 3 years apart age wise. So like we played for the same AAU program, but never on the same team. And, just always knew of each other. And then again, like I said, 2 years ago, we played in Turkey together and literally like instantly became best friends. We're just super similar. And I think just the way that we are very family oriented, love to have fun, love to get cute, like, and we also, I mean, both take basketball super seriously. And we just always support each other and have a lot of love for each other. And like I said, like we just became fast friends and have gotten really close. So I love her, always supporting her, and she's a great friend.
yeah, like I said, like the fits y'all be having at the
I know
tunnel,
we love.
and
That's like
like,
our favorite thing to do is get cute and like take pictures or go somewhere and go shopping or go eat.
cause y'all be slay. I was like, dang, like they so together like glue, like what, like
I
just.
know, I know. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
remember Dana when she was at Louisville, and
Mhm.
she turned Louisville out with her
Yeah.
game.
Mhm. I know. She's so talented. She's literally so talented and like I'm like her number one fan. Um and yeah, I mean, I think the world of her. I think the world of her as a person. I think the world of her as a player. Like you said, she's been killing since Louisville. Been playing for the Sky, and now this is her third year playing in Turkey for Besiktas. The past 2 seasons, she's been the leading scorer in Turkey, which Turkey is that's the strongest league in Europe. So she's really been one of the best players in Europe for 2 years in a row. So she's really that girl, and people need to know that. Like, put respect on her name.
That's on period. Cause
Yeah,
what was that like? You know, to see her win a championship with the Sky, especially when
yeah.
she was with Candace Parker.
Yes, I mean it's awesome, and like me and her have talked about it. I think she has so many vets on that team, and like learned so much. And like you said, like Candace Parker and Vandersloot, like. I think it was such a great experience for her, and it's awesome to win a championship. Like to win a championship in the WNBA, that's the highest level, and that's legacy. That's something that nobody can ever take away from her. So yeah, I want her to win more. I want her to do all the things that she can, and continue to have an amazing career.
Oh yeah, 'cause I'm telling y'all, people that gotta know y'all best friend goals, y'all. Like they best friend goals. Like you need some fashion like ideas and inspiration. Those are the two. Like you look for the
We
WNBA
try.
tunnel fits. Those are the two.
We try. We try.
So
Uh,
my question for you is like, what would you say is the difference and similarities in competition between the W versus, overseas for you?
ooh. Well, you know what? And obviously, I haven't played in the WNBA other than my experiences in training camp. Um, but I have a number of friends who play both in the W and overseas, and I would say the biggest thing is, gosh, when you go overseas, it's physical. It's really, really, really physical. I mean, you and I were even talking about that before, but it's super physical, and unfortunately, sometimes you go over and like being Americans, referees don't always give you calls. Like they think, well, you're supposed to be this much talented, this much more talented than our local players, and you're supposed to be able to do X, Y, Z. And so I always say sometimes it's like a bloodbath when you go overseas, which, sucks. Like obviously as players we want to be protected and just be able to play basketball and not feel like we're wrestling. But I would say that's the biggest difference is like, you know, the W, and I'm not saying all the time because I know that the WNBA is also very physical, for sure. But I think overall the W does a much better job of protecting players and having a little bit more freedom of movement and allowing players to, actually play. Um, and also, rules like when you go overseas, you don't have the like defensive 3 seconds. So really, like defenders will just pack in the lane, as opposed to the W. It's kind of more space with the lane. So those are a few things that are big differences.
For sure. And, like you said, just the fiscality, we were just talking about like, cause, there's so many misconceptions about overseas competition
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
people tend to say, oh, this is like my last resort. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no. I mean, it's yeah. There's in the level is really high. I mean, there's obviously a broad spectrum. I would say being overseas, but again, like if you watch EuroLeague women, like that's amazing competition, and Euro Cup women, it's great competition overseas, and there's also a number of European players and players from other countries that also just choose not to play in the WNBA. Because again, the overseas season is 6, 7, 8 months, and then to go right into the WNBA season. I mean, more and more players are kind of choosing between, one or the other instead of doing both. So, it's just a different style when you watch overseas, and it's great competition, and I would encourage more people to watch. Like I said, Euro League women or some Euro Cup games, because you might see some players you know, that you haven't seen play in the WNBA but are super talented, and you might become a fan. So
Absolutely. And, you know, also the question, you would hope that it's great payment that the women's are getting great payment overseas, but also
mhm.
like I think another big factor that sometimes they miss home. Like you probably there's times you miss home, like being in the United States with your family and everybody. So would you say that you hope for more opportunities for women's basketball to just expand for the United States?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, I think definitely for me, and I know for a lot of girls, even WNBA players who have been on rosters for a long time. I mean, most of the majority of the money that girls make is overseas. You usually make way more money overseas, and that's also because seasons are longer, but just more money in it overseas. And so yeah, it is unfortunate. And somebody like me, yes, I have to. That's where I'm making my living, is going over there. But yes, I do. Um, I miss out on holidays and families' birthdays, and there's certain things that I always miss because I'm overseas. And I think that it's a great experience. I always have a great time going to Europe and experiencing other cultures. But yeah, I would love to be home and for my mom to see me play in person. I don't think she's seen me play in person in like over 5 years. Maybe pre-COVID, she came overseas for a little bit, but there's nothing like having your family and your friends and hometown people being able to come and support you, and instead of having to log onto YouTube and watch you play. So, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely hopeful for for more opportunities, and whether that's in the W or I know that they're starting to create more leagues just for women to play in the US, and that's really exciting because again, we want to be able to make the money that we deserve and still be at home.
Absolutely. And one of the issues that one of the biggest, kind of like issues or scares that happened with overseas was the whole Brittany Griner situation,
Yeah.
with the Russia and stuff. So, would you say there are times like would that have with her situation? Would you say that really impacted like how you viewed like overseas, like playing overseas? Were there times where like what's going to happen if something like that were to happen? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, well, I would say this, and definitely with that situation in mind, but just in general, when I mean, the nature of it is like we're going to a foreign country and we're living in a foreign country, and going places that we're not from, and we're not necessarily accustomed to culturally how they do things, legally how they do things. I mean, it of course there are places, certain places more extreme than others, but at the end of the day, it's not home, and not necessarily somewhere that you're used to. So that's something that you always have to keep in the back of your mind. And not even just necessarily her situation. I mean, I have friends who are playing in Israel right now and who had to quickly book flights home because there are bombings right there right now. I mean, there's wars going on, and so it's hard to kind of be at the mercy of somebody else, and hope that your team will take care of you if something bad is happening, and will protect you, and also allow you to go home if that's what's in your best interest. And honestly, I've heard a lot of stories of teams not necessarily doing that, um, which is sad. So again, like that's kind of another another thing where it's like, yeah, you know, most of the time we have great experiences. We go overseas and we have a great time, and we're making money and we're playing the game that we love, and we experience all of these cool things. But sometimes it's not always great. It's not always great for people, and there are really dangerous situations that can happen. And that's just the nature of life. And so yeah, like again, for my friend, like we just talked, she's from France, but she was in Israel, and I kind of had to go back and forth and fight with her team just to have them book a flight for her to go home while a war is going on. I mean, you never want to be in that situation. So, just to equate that to what you're saying, like, yeah, I would love to just be able to play at home and not have to worry about, going to my game and there's bombs flying. Like that's crazy. But again, it's just the nature of what we do. Like, we go make our money where we go make our money, and a lot of girls have to decide what's worth it or not. Is it worth it for me to go here and make this money and maybe something will happen, or is it not worth it? So
And you know, because that's like one of those situations like you can't control it because it's not in your hands, but it's like everything just happens so fast. So it's like also your safety is in the hands of the team. So it's like how are they gonna just respond to it?
yeah, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, you always hope that, you know, that wherever you go, that people treat you like human beings, they treat you like family. And, you know, I always, want to go somewhere and hope that my organization would treat me as if I'm their daughter and want me to protect me at all costs and not put me in a situation where something bad would happen to me. But like I said, like, that doesn't always happen. So it's sad, but kind of just have to do your research and hope for the best, and just hope you have a good agent and that they don't put you in bad situations, and go from there.
Absolutely, because man, because you would like I know I remember last year with the whole Israel and Palestine thing. You
Mhm.
know, like the other day it was like the 1 year thing. So you know, like a lot of players that were at Israel that were in the middle of playing, they're like they had to book a flight to get back home because
Yeah,
everything was shutting down. It was so, but you know, with everything also that takes a toll on you, you know, with mental health as well. How important is mental health to you as, you know, a black woman and B as an athlete?
yeah. I mean, mental health is everything to me. I think it's something that I've always been very aware of, and have taken seriously for a really long time. And like you said, like I try really hard not to put myself in situations that you know it could take a toll on me. Um, I think for me, those are conversations that I've had with my agent, um, as far as what I'm willing to go through and what I'm not willing to go through. Again, especially because, to be honest, it's really taxing regardless. I mean, you can go to the most beautiful, I could go to, I mean, a tropical island and be playing there, and still to be, all the way overseas, 8, 9 hours away from my family. Like, that's always going to take a toll on you, at some point or another. So, again, for me, I just have certain conversations with my agent, and, he's always been aware for me, like, what's worth what's worth it and what's not. And I think, of course, you go overseas and you want to make a living, you want to do well for yourself, but for me, I think peace of mind is way more important than a check. So that's just always been it for me. So yeah, I think I've always really taken my mental health seriously, and again, like I said, like, you have to do a lot of work on it, just in general, when you're overseas, regardless of where you are, because you're not with your people. You're not with your family, you're not with your friends, you may not be with your significant other. I mean, you got to really do the work and do what makes you happy and what kind of centers you, just to keep you going and keep you motivated, because those seasons can be long.
Oh yeah, and because I always tell like when it comes to mental health, I'm like I'm huge on it. Like
Mhm.
as someone who is on the spectrum, on the autism spectrum, I am very big on that, and especially
Yeah.
with athletes, you know I have to remind folks at times that athletes are human first.
Yes.
Like y'all do know they're human first. So
I
like,
Oh gosh.
and then you got like the crazy fans that like you ruined my parlay. I'm like, what?
I know. It's so sad. It's really sad, and I think even, like, recently, It's so hard. It's like both ends of the, ends of the table with, it's so great that more and more and more people are starting to really pay attention to women's basketball. But with that, you get the trolls and you get the people who are, just have nasty, nasty things to say. And like you said, like, I think that's something that I've always struggled with is, even back to when I was in college, like, do these people not realize that I'm a person? Like, I'm not just a jersey. I'm not just a statistic for you to, cheer for when everything is going great and to be so mad at when it's not. Like, and yeah, and I think that that's always hard. Like, um, that's another thing that you have to just like really get good with yourself and be like, regardless, I'm doing me, I'm staying focused, I'm, whether you have a good game, whether you have a bad game, okay, let's move on to the next. And you just have to find what keeps you on that path. Because yeah, because people can be nasty, people can be really mean, and overseas they can be really, really mean too.
Lord have mercy, man. I heard one of the stories from somebody that's saying like the fans in overseas they can get nasty too.
They
Like
go crazy.
they'll spit on an opponent
They
player.
throw things, yeah. They throw things. They're crazy. They can get really crazy. They'll spit. They'll do all kinds of stuff.
What?
They'll do all kinds of stuff. And you know what? It's crazy. It's your own fans sometimes. The people that are supposed to cheer for you. It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's
Yeah,
it's one thing to like say cuss and say stuff, but spitting that's the ultimate.
I
I'm sorry,
know.
that's the
That's the
ultimate
ultimate.
disrespect.
Yeah,
You like
that's the ultimate. I agree. That's like too far.
I'm like I would need to get a Kleenex. I don't want to.
I
I don't
know.
know what y'all ate or anything. Like
I
I
know.
don't.
It's nasty. It's so nasty. Yeah.
So I notice you are such a family oriented person. You love your family. You know, you have
Yeah.
a significant other who is also an ACC legend, Ian. So for you and Ian, y'all like the love and basketball couple. Well, so like for you guys being both ACC legends, like how did that connect it, and you know how are y'all able to support one another, especially with y'all's overseas journey?
Um, yeah, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can we,
Yeah, we can skip that question.
okay, okay, sorry.
You good? No worries. I apologize for asking.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. So, like, what's the best part about the family support from your family?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, I'm like, my mom is like the closest person to me in the world. And she's always supporting me. Again, like I said, like it's super hard, to play overseas and to be overseas and, not have her uh, there at games. But honestly, her and, my aunt, my grandma, my grandpa, my dad, my stepmom, like they'll wake up super early to watch games, like set alarms at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., watch games. My little baby brother, he's 5, like he'll be cheering, looking at the TV. It's just, it's the dedication and to have people that even on a completely different time zone will still make the effort and do these things, like do these outlandish things and, change their schedule up just to support you and so that you feel that even though they're not physically there. That just means the world. Like that's everything. And again, like I said, like it's little things like that that can help you get through it. um, and yeah, I mean, my family is just super supportive, and, I always talk with my dad a lot. Like I said, like he played professionally, so we have good talks before games, after games. Like he always gives me, good criticism, and he's like my number one fan, which is awesome to, have somebody who was successful in basketball, there to really support you and help you. So, I mean, I really honestly wouldn't be able to do it if I wasn't so close with my family and had my family to support me. Just because, like I said, it can be really hard. So it's nice to, nice to have people that love you and care about you and are always there for you. If you have a bad game, if you're just having a bad day, it's everything. So
Oh, I apologize earlier for asking that question. I apologize.
don't apologize. It's okay. It's okay.
I should have been like, okay, what's the questions like? For me, I always try to make sure it's a safe space for everybody.
No, it's okay. Don't apologize. It's okay.
So, but
It's totally fine.
so who would you say inspires you the most, both on and off the court, for you?
Oh gosh, I would say honestly, on and off the court, definitely is my mom. Um, I think just she like has always sacrificed everything for me. Growing up, like there's countless things that that I know that she sacrificed, and then especially getting, you know, to my age now and being grown and having conversations with her and like, at the time not even realizing the things that she was doing for me. Um and then just to like think back like wow, you really did everything. So she's my biggest inspiration as a woman. And then when I play basketball, like she's the person that I always think about. Like, who do I want to make proud? Like, number one on my list is always my mom. Like, I always want to, have a good game and do well and, play well and play on good teams and accomplish all these things. Like, for her, because first of all, it brings so much joy to her. And then also it's like, it's like payback for everything that she's done. So she's definitely my biggest inspiration.
It's something about doing it for moms that just hits
Yeah,
so deep and different.
it does. It always does. It always does. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
thanks, mom, for carrying me 9 months. I just want to owe it to you for like just
Exactly. Yeah.
be out. Like you done so much sacrifices. Like they be doing so much sacrifice, especially when it comes to travel ball. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. I mean, like when I was young, I played basketball and did like all the things, all the travel, all the AAU, but I also did soccer super competitively, like travel soccer. I swam like, nationally. I played volleyball. So not only was she like on it with basketball, but we were going even in one weekend, like we would be driving from a soccer game to a basketball game to a swim meet, like all the things, like crazy, crazy, crazy busy. So that's why I'm like, you did your big one. You really did your big one because it was a lot. It was definitely a lot.
You're right. You did do a lot of sports.
I
I would have never guessed swim because
did. And you know what? I know I was really good at swimming too. I love swimming. Swimming is really hard, but it was good. I was really good and it was fun.
I ain't gonna lie. Like I be swimming, but
Girl,
just
can you swim?
I just do it for the exercising.
Okay. That's good though. It's great exercise, isn't it?
Yes, I be like, dang, I lost a lot. I lost 11 pounds
It's
from
great.
this.
It's super slimming, and you know what? Especially like more athletes really should do that because I mean, it's no pressure on your joints. Like
Right.
I have, I've now that I'm further in my career, like I've had some knee problems, and so like swimming is like no pressure on my knees. Way better than running. So
Girl,
yes,
I'm t-
it's
when I
great.
say like I'll be like, so there'll be like a pool in the neighborhood. I'll be going there, making sure I go there, even though there's
Yes.
kids there. But like,
Yeah,
this is
I
so
know.
it's like I'm trying to exercise, doing
I
some
know.
squats, jumping squats. They're
Exactly.
gonna think something wrong with me. I'm like,
No, no. It's good. That's good. Yeah, swimming is that's like the best cardio that you can do, really. It's the best exercise.
now I
So
will say I ain't gonna be able to swim against the current. I'm like, you know
I
what?
know. Nobody should try. You should not.
Nah,
Exactly.
but like just I'm not. I'm just gonna not go in the ocean. I'm gonna be right
Exactly.
here.
I'm with you too. I I think I'm a really good swimmer, and I don't like the ocean period because I don't want things swimming by me. I don't want fish or any animals swimming around me. That scares me.
Especially like jellyfish. I'm like, oh, did I
Ooh,
like fucking what? And then it'd be like seaweed. It's like, oh well, still.
exactly. No, I don't. I'm like just in the pool. I'm just in the pool.
So my question for you is, when it comes to representation in women's sports, how important is representation to you?
I mean, it's everything. I mean, representation is everything for women, for Black women. Um, I mean, I think that you know, it's really cliche to say it, but like people always say, if you see it, you can be it, and I think that that's real. Like, you know, I I think back to, when I was younger and playing basketball and coming up, like for me, the person that was like the biggest inspiration was Skylar Diggins. Cause like, okay, I see this beautiful Black woman and she's killing it. And she's, like she didn't compromise anything about who she was, about how she looked. And she was just her, like authentically. And I just think it's important for everybody to see somebody that they see themselves in. And that's what representation is. There's all types of women, there's all types of people, that are not always represented, not only in basketball, in everything in the world. And I think the more opportunities that all kinds of women get, that then, that just sets the stage and opens doors for younger generations to do incredible things. So it's really important. I love the fact that women's basketball is getting more coverage and more attention, and it's just again going to open the doors for our daughters and our granddaughters to be bigger than LeBron James. Like you never know what anything could what could happen. Like, but we need that representation, and especially for little Black girls. Like that's just so important. Um, you know, Again, if you see it, then you can be it, and the more that we are seen, the more that young girls can dream of things and do things that we never even thought were possible. So
Let me get my little fan. Ooh, fan of facts right here. This is so true. Ooh.
oh, I'm cracking up.
I usually have my little fan, but I cannot find it. But this will do.
Exactly, just a little something.
This little Bible journal will do with the fan. That's
Exactly.
fine. I'll be. I'll be.
That's it.
So, but it's you mentioned Skylar Diggins, like
Mhm.
a legend in Notre Dame. She's like all time points with it, and just like you said, like a beautiful Black woman. You're a beautiful Black woman. Let's give you your flowers. Period. You know, truly genuine soul, beautiful spirit that you have.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, I'm giving you your flowers because
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I'm telling we gotta give flowers to the folks while they're still living. We ain't gonna be waiting till somebody's 6 feet under.
That's so true. Very true. Got to. Gotta appreciate the people that you have in your life and the people that are around while they're around. For
That
sure.
would that would be dope. You and Skylar be on the same team. Y'all
I
be on the
know that would be cool. That would be cool. I know now she's on Storm with Jules, a little reunion, a little Notre Dame reunion. So it's cool. Yeah.
because y'all would be like, especially at Notre, y'all would be like unstoppable. That would been like a just
I
a goal
know.
run.
Yeah, no, she was she's like you said, she's a legend and she's still a legend, still doing her thing like at the highest level. But yeah, she was like the person for me that like that's why I wanted to go to Notre Dame. I was like, I want to be that. I want to be her. And again, that's just one example. That's just my example. But everybody deserves to have their Skylar, like their person that they look at and they're like, I see myself in you and I want to be you and I want to do what you do because you're showing me that it's possible, you know. So it could be anybody, you know, it could be anybody. You could look any type of way, you can act or dress or any type of way, but again, it's just so important for the millions of different versions of women to be represented, because there's so many different versions of a woman that you can be. There's so many things that you can be, and it's just important for that to be shown, because you know, I think sometimes people have a, you know, a stereotypical idea um, of what a black woman should be or what a women's basketball player should be, and I think it's really important that, like, you know, yes, I play basketball and this is what I do, but I don't have to look a certain way. I don't have to act a certain type of way. I don't have to be what you expect me to be. I can still be myself. I can still be a woman. I can still do X, Y, and Z completely outside of basketball, but also play basketball at a really high level and be successful. So it's just important for people to know that, you know, you aren't your sport. You can be so many other things and still be a basketball player.
Facts. I
Yes.
wish people knew this.
Yes. Yes.
Because at the end of the day, there's going to be a time where you're going to have to drop the ball and it's going to stop dribbling. And then you're going to have to realize, like, what
Yeah.
am I without the sport? Which is the hardest thing.
It is. It's super hard. And you know what? And that plays into what we were talking about with mental health. Like, you know, while you're overseas, while you're playing, and you know, for me, like, while I have downtime, like, okay, so let me get in touch with myself. Let me, you know, meditate. Let me journal. Let me, you know, do these things and discover myself, because, like you said, like, you can't play basketball forever, and um, you have to know who you are outside of your sport. That's super important. And you know, I know that a lot of people, not only women's basketball players, I know men's basketball players suffer with that too. You know, you do something your entire life. I mean, I've been playing basketball since I was 5 or 6. I'm 29 now. So, you know, that's my entire life. And so I know it's going to be hard to stop. And I know it's hard for everybody, you know, but you just got to do that work and just feel good about yourself at the end of the day, like about you, not about, you know, Taya Reimer, the basketball player, like just Taya Reimer. So, yeah, it's important.
Ooh. I've been learning the term clock it from some of the girls that I be working with.
Uh-huh.
So it's like,
Yep.
I
Mhm.
at this point, I'm too old for it. I'm too old for trying to keep up.
I
I
know. I don't even try, girl.
It's
I
like
don't even
it just
try.
comes and goes.
Exactly.
So my question for you is, how would you describe your journey?
Oh my gosh. You know what? I would say my journey has really been a roller coaster. My journey has really been a roller coaster. And you know what? Like, to be honest with you, there are some times that I look back and I'm like, man, I wish I would have did this differently, or I wish I would have did this instead of that. And you know, but then I also have to like stop myself and be like, everything that I've been through, good and bad, has made me exactly who I am. And you know, I really love who I am. You know, um, and it's again, it's just been a journey. Like it's they call a journey because it's a journey, girl. It's really, you know. But I just am at the point now where, like, I love everything that I've been through because I know it made me exactly who I am. And I just, I want to use the things that I've been through to help people, like, help the next generation of girls, like, you know, just share my experiences. And maybe it'll help somebody to do better. Maybe it'll help somebody to make a different decision than I made. Um, Maybe it's just a good story. Maybe it won't help anybody. I don't know, but you know, it's just I've been through a lot, and I really appreciate it because I think the tough times that we go through, those are the things that show you who you are. I don't think you can't really know yourself until you go through something. So my journey has been a roller coaster for sure, but it's also been beautiful, and I've had some amazing experiences and met a lot of amazing people, um, beautiful people that I really appreciate. And yeah, that's it.
It's like the trial tribulations into a testimony. So
Yes, absolutely. And I think for me, like the older that I'm getting in my career and just the older that I'm getting as a person, like I really feel that like so much. Like it's just a testimony. Like I want to help somebody else. If it'll help somebody, like let me go through it so that I can help you. And then you go through something else and help the next person. Like, I think that's life.
and that's what makes you beautiful, Miss Taya.
Yeah. That's so true. That's what
You know,
makes
it's
all of us beautiful.
that's what makes you a beautiful soul. You makes it beautiful because you want to help people, and you let folks know, but like, hey, I've been there, but I just want you to know, you know,
Yeah.
anything, be you, you can do you. So
Yes. And that's part of like representation too is, maybe if there was somebody, at a certain point in my life that would have been like, hey girl, maybe instead of this, let's do this. Maybe something would have turned out differently for me. Maybe not. But, I think that it's important now, like everybody should always turn around and give back, turn around and help the next person because you never know how your experiences can, you know, impact somebody else to make a different decision in their life, to go down a different path, to do something amazing.
that's so true.
Very true, girl. It's super true.
I had to emphasize the true, just to true. I ain't gonna say no true like 2 Chainz talking about
I
true.
know. I know.
Golly, I used to hear that in junior and
Oh my
college.
gosh.
Like,
Everywhere.
I'm just like, y'all just
They
say
played out.
just
Exactly.
say the word true. Do not say it like 2 Chainz. I don't want to hear another two
I need
chains.
that.
Like, Lord have mercy. But I always ask my guests this question, which is Bonafide means authentic and unique. So what
Mhm.
makes Miss Taya Reimer Bonafide? What makes your story stands out?
You know what? I think what makes my story stand out, and I think that what makes me stand out is I really try to just live that way, like extremely authentically. Like, I feel like I'm super goofy and, sometimes I'm really weird, sometimes but I just try to always be myself and I try to always connect with anybody that I come in contact with. Um, and, like I said, like I've been through a lot of stuff. um, not all great, not all horrible. But I think that that's something that does make my journey unique. I think that's something that makes me unique. I've had a lot of experiences in a lot of different places with a lot of different people, and I just always try to have a smile on my face and make somebody laugh, be goofy, just enjoy my time, and make sure everybody else enjoys their time. And I hope that any experience I go into with another person, they leave that experience, you know, with a positive memory, and just have good feelings from their experience with me. And I just always try to see the good in every situation. And yeah, that's it.
Ooh, wait, there you go. Pow! I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Yeah, I'm here for it. So I told you, girl. I told you you have an inspiring story.
Thank
Like your journey. I definitely, to see you continue to grow with what you love to do and what inspires you and what
you.
makes you happy. It's just to me, it's so inspiring.
Yeah,
I
thank
have,
you.
I have the utmost respect for you since like
Thank you.
15, like when we met.
Yeah, I
So,
know it's crazy. It's been a long time, girl.
girl. But empowering women be empowering women. So
Very true. Very true. It's important. It's super important. I know. I feel like a lot of times people try to put women against each other, and we should just all be helping each other and, you know, getting along, supporting each other, being homegirls.
that's on period. And Mary had a little lamb.
Exactly.
Mary had a little. I don't know. I started saying it after I was like, dang, this used to be
I
old.
know. I know.
Like this used to be old, and then I used to say ditto. So like nobody
I
says ditto
know.
anymore. So I'm like ditto. That's
I
fine.
know. That's the thing. It's like you just got to say whatever you want to say because you'll miss it just like that, and it'll be a new thing that people say, and it's like just say whatever you want because you can't even keep up.
Man. So let's tell you, how can folks be able to support and follow you, and if you have any upcoming events coming up for you?
Well, well, you can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is at Busta underscore REIMES, Busta Rhymes. It's a little funny play on words, play on my last name. But yeah, I'm injured right now. I have to have surgery on my knee, so I am currently just like rehabbing right now. I'm not playing right now, but just trying to kind of get into some other things outside of playing, but in the basketball realm, and doing things like this, some podcasts, and I'm working with a local gym in Indy and trying to do a little bit of training and mentorship just for the time being while I'm not playing. So I'm pretty much updating everything on my Instagram, and people can find some stuff there. But yeah, I'm just like I said, I just want to be helpful for people and share my journey and share my story. And if anybody feels like I could be helpful for them, please reach out to me. I'm always available to talk to anybody and help anybody, and I want to do that. So yeah.
Girl, you're gonna have to tell me about that podcast right after this because
I will.
I need to know more. I
I
need to know more.
will.
I'm very intrigued about it.
I
So,
know I will.
uh, y'all be sure to check out the live replay of episode 86, episode 86, featuring
You're
the one and
almost to
only
100, girl.
girl. Yes, I'm like,
You're getting
yeah,
there. That's awesome.
I be working and trying, but y'all be sure to
Mhm.
check out the live replay of episode
Yes.
86 after this. And big
Yes.
shout out to the one and only Taya Reimer for coming on the podcast and sharing your story, girl.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, you guys are so appreciated. Peace.